Good evening, everyone. Today's session is on types of software. What is a software? Why we require this software? And actually, we know that everyone is using the software, but we don't know which type of software we are using. So, in this session, we will be learning about the types of softwares. Right now, let us start with that. Starting with the first part. Right, what do you mean, where you acquire the software, right? Because softwares are those things which can be acquired freeware or shareware. Let us start with that. Freeware are those softwares, basically they are copyrighted, but they can be downloaded from anywhere, right? And they can be like you can read it and you can install it also. But other softwares are basically used for, like, you may download it for some trial version. You downloaded some trial version and it is for 15 days trial, or you may say 7 days trial, or after that you need to pay for that software, right? You need to pay a nominal fee, or you need to pay for that software for using that particular software, right? Suppose, for example, I'm giving you an example. Any software like Python, Anaconda Prompt, this can be downloaded from the website, and this is free. Whereas when we have Microsoft Office, or you may have other tools, like you have, they should be licensed, and they should be like Tabule. If you download Tabule or Power BI or any specific tool, a specific software, right, you need to pay. First 14 days you need not have to pay anything. You just download it and just use that software. But after 14 days you need to pay it, right? Because your trial period is over. Now you need to pay for the software. So let us move to what are the different types of software we have and how to use that part, right? So everybody is using application softwares and system software, but nobody knows, like, this is application based and this is system based softwares. So let us start with that. Application based softwares are those software which are basically solving the user problems. Like, suppose I'm using this PowerPoint presentations, right? And I'm making this PowerPoint presentations through MS PowerPoint, right? Microsoft PowerPoint, MS Office. So this is one of the application based software, because I am building my specific, it is performing and it is useful for the user. It is basically meant for the users. We are using those applications. Whereas when we talk about to the other side, that is system software, like your operating system, you are not creating an operating system. You are not implementing anything in the operating system. It is not going to solve anything. It is basically meant for maintaining the system. So it's a kind of utility program which is required for a system. Actually it is used for maintaining the system, but it is not used for solving the user problems. So there is a big difference between the application softwares and system softwares. I'm going to tell you one by one how to use this application software. So the first software that we are going to use is MS Word, right? Everyone has used this Word file. You have you have typed something, you have used some data. So what are the uses of this? You may be using word processing document for creating the memos, or for generating the reports, for mailing the, like, if you want to send something, minutes of the meeting you are typing, anything to be typed, that can be in a Word, MS Microsoft Word. Whereas, like, there are different functions also that you may use in your Word document. What are those functions? Like create a file, edit, format. You may insert tables also. You may insert different pictures also. You may insert different images also, right? So, and then later on, once you do that thing, once you complete with your document, you may save that document and take a printout of that. So basically you are solving your problem through this Microsoft Word. It is not maintaining your system. It is meant for the user. Next is desktop publishing. What is desktop publishing? Basically, it is used for having the desktop applications. Like you are generating some newsletters, you are creating some reports, some brochures are to be there, some you may say some newsletter. The most important example is newsletters, right? So there are number of tools nowadays like Adobe Spark, or you may say Canva for presentations, SketchUp tools which basically used for making the prototypes. There are a number of tools which can be used and they are application based softwares. Why? Because it is meant for the user. User is actually creating, user is developing the things, right? Next we have electronic spreadsheets. Yes, very very important. Everything that is every data is maintained in a spreadsheet where we have a row column format, or you may say the cells are there which contain some values. You can perform functions on that. You can have a filter kind of thing, like you can filter the values also. You can make budgets, even you can track your weight loss. Like suppose I am maintaining today, my weight is this, after 1 week I am going to check out my weight, so I may be recording all the things in an Excel sheet, right? And then later on I'm going to compare it, like in this month I was having this much weight, and in the next month I will be having that much amount of it. So this is how we are using. This is meant for us. This is meant for like solving our problem. Next is databases. The database management system is used basically for maintaining the data, right? Like suppose I am talking about there are 100 students in a class. Now I want to maintain the data. Now I'm going to take a first attribute I would be taking as an serial number. The second attribute I would be taking the name of the student. The third, the class of the student. Then the subject he or she may be interested. So I'm making a format. I'm making a database of that, and based on that database I'm going to retrieve the information. Like suppose I want to basically extract the information, the people, the student, those who are living in Delhi. So I may be requiring those people, those who are living in Delhi. I am extracting, I am retrieving from the database, right? So what are the functions that we can perform on a database are storing the data, for updating the data, for manipulating the data, for retrieving the data, printing. And the most important thing is, whenever we maintain any document or we are using any application software, the most important part is nowadays, like Google Apps may, you have seen this part, you can download the data in different formats. You may download it in a Word format, you may download it in a CSV file, you may download it as Excel file, you may download it as PDF file. So there are different formats of data from which you can use any of the format, right? Then we have some graphics application software which basically gives you like any graph, any map, any chart, any type of plotting can be done with the help of graphics application softwares, right? Then we have what basically why we are using this. It is basically comparing, it is finding the patterns in the data. We can analyze through the graphs, through visualization methods, so that we can have a more accurate decisions. Like suppose I am taking the pie chart, right, and it is depicting me this much people are educated in some village, right, and this much, these are the females ratio, this is the male ratio. So we can have, when we have different categories of data, we can use different graphs also, and these graphs can be automatically generated through the application softwares. So we may have some graphics application softwares as well. Then we have presentations graphics. Now presentations graphics are basically meant for when we have some meetings, when we have some you may say some conferences, some summits. So we need to represent the data in a graphical format. Right. Now it could be a sales tool, it could be to demonstrate a project. So these are some uses of the graphics tool. Right. You may present it as a audio, you may present it as a video to show the data, right? And it may contain not only the graphics, it may contain your text, it may contain some ratios, may contain audios also, it may contain videos also, right? Then we have something like a drawing kind of thing, when you need to draw something, or art kind of thing. So you may use some that type of software also, that uses to express your ideas. Like I'm going to use an software, an art, to show the emojis, right? And it is basically collecting your sentiments. Like sometimes you may have your Facebook account or social media account, and there you are liking some post, you are disliking some post. So you are giving your basically uh, your opinion. Okay, so when you want to express the ideas, you may be using some computer art software programs, right? Then we have, for communication purpose, we may have the application, we may be using application based softwares. Right. Now suppose I am talking about this software that can communicate from home with office at or with computer at office. Obviously, how, like I am communicating with you, I am giving some classes on computer. So I may be using some application software through which I am going to connect with other people. Right. I am sitting at one place and I am connected to some other people that is in different country. How is it possible? I may be using some application softwares. It could be a Google Meet, it could be anything. Like I'm using this system for connecting with other people. So there are certain application softwares which are basically used, which are basically meant for the users, right? Office suites we have when we have to basically show the data, or software applications where number of people are working together, or you may say the data is portable between basic applications of the suite. So like I am going to present my data, I am going to make my PPTs, and then I want to convert it into a PDF format. So my data is portable, and it can be like it is compatible also with other formats. Like it is going to be changed. Like if you have used PPTs, the most important thing with PPTs, like I am making a poster and I am converting it into a what, PDF or a JPEG image. Right. So this is how we can use the different tools, different application softwares for different purpose. Then we have business softwares. Like this software is only meant for business applications, like Big Basket or Big Bazaar, any this kind of thing. They have their special softwares and special keyboards also, that is meant for performing those tasks only. Then the most important second category of software is system software. What are system softwares? System software is actually for maintaining the system. Now you should know this thing, it is very very important. When we have when we have to handle, or when we have to control or monitor the technical details of the system, we may be having system softwares, right? It includes operating system. So operating system is not an application software, it is an system software. Utilities. What do you mean by utilities? Utilities are like you have installed antivirus package. Now what is this antivirus? It is not an what, application software. It is basically meant for maintaining the system. So for maintaining the system, for maintaining this thing, it is what we are doing, we are using the system softwares, right? or for maintaining some device drivers are required. Like when we install when we are connecting our mobile with some laptop or connecting with some other devices, some special softwares are required. Or you may say when you install printer at your home, you need to install some software so that you can connect it with your computer or desktops or PCs or laptops. So there is how to create a connection between both of them. There may be some device drivers, there may be some device drivers softwares that can be used. So one of the main software, that is system software, that is operating system. What is operating system? Operating system is a collection of programs that handle technical tasks. So it is basically an intermediate between the user and what? Between the hardware. So it is the you may say it is an intermediate between the software and the hardware. It basically allows you can use the resources you can use. Like I am using laptop right now, operating system is giving me memory, so it is allocating like this type of this much memory is required, and I may be using some application softwares, I may be using some utility softwares like Mac free or any other antivirus I am using for maintaining this particular system, right? Let us see one by one each of them. One of the definition of operating system is a collection of programs that handle technical task. Manage resources, the most important part is manage resources. So what are resources? It could be a printer, it could be a CPU, it could be a memory, it could be anything, right? Now how to handle this thing, like this task is occupying this much of memory, right? So or provides user interface or run the application. All these tasks are performed by operating system. Then most important, widely used OS are Windows 7, Windows 10, Mac OS, etc. Right, nowadays everyone is using Windows 10. What are the functions of operating system? It manages the computer resources. I told you it manages the different hardwares like monitors, printers, CPUs, memory. Right, monitor the system performance, whether your performance like my system becomes sometimes very slow. So what I do is I go to the task manager and I delete some tasks so that my systems is going to run faster, right? Because I do this thing. And scheduling of tasks, so scheduler is there, there is a dispatcher. These terms are basically used when you learn about operating system, right? Provides the security, start up the computer. It provides a graphical user interface, run application multitasking. Like I am doing multitasking at the same time. I am presenting my screen and I am like opening the Word document. So two programs are running behind this system. So there are not only two programs, there are other programs also that are running behind the system. So they are included in the operating system part only. Right, they are a part of OS only, operating system only. So they are a part of operating system only. Next part is features of an operating system. What do you mean by the boosting, or you may say booting? The most important thing, why when you actually when you start your computer, the basically the it is booted first. All the programs are loaded into the memory, into the that your system, so that you can access the different components of the this computer, right? What are the features in common with application software? So icons are common, right? You may have different icons that are that may be used as a system software or that may be used as an application software. Pointer, right? Windows, folders, tabs, dialog boxes or pop-up boxes, help menu, gesture control, files and folders. So these are the common features which basically common with your any application software. Like you have your Word file or you may have your MS Office. These icons would be same as your system softwares. what are the categories of operating system? So like we have heard about number of applications. Let us see like which mobile is using and which other system, like handheld devices like smartphones, cable TV tuner boxes, you may have set up boxes, video game systems, so they have some embedded operating systems, right? Without operating system they are not going to work. Then we have NOS. NOS is network operating system. Means for linking between two or more computers, we need an network operating system. What are those? Windows servers, Linux, Unix, OS stored on network server, which coordinates all communication between the other computers. So there is one computer which is basically communicating with all the other computers. And when we have desktop, it's a standalone operating system. It is not connecting with other computer system. It is basically treated as a client operating system. Now mobile operating system, everybody have heard the term, that is Android, right? Now they are basically, they has its own features. You may be having most of the like operating system, you have heard the names like Android or BlackBerry operating system, iOS, WebOS, Windows Phone. There are a number of OS which are basically available for the mobiles. Now this thing is very very important, like when we talk about utilities. Now utilities are what? Utilities are the system softwares. What are utilities? Utilities are the system softwares, right? Now when we talk about system software, there are specialized program to make computing easier. Now like if I am going to open download any file, it may be checking, like sometimes it's give you a message, this file contains a virus, why don't you scan it, right? So how to scan it? With some utility software, that is antivirus programs. Or suppose you have an update, you need to update it also. Some update programs are also there to update your Windows or to update your systems. So what is the role of this updation? Basically this updation takes place when you have like when you have to update your systems, and when it is required actually, whenever a new version or whenever some more space is occupied, some free space is less there, like there is very less space in your system, right? You need to have an update to clear that particular thing. Even it is not only in your laptops, it is in mobiles also. When you just check it out, sometimes you get a message, sometimes you get a pop-up like clean your mobiles. What is that? That is a utility software only. You are not using anything, you are just click on that and automatically it cleans your system. So there are different softwares which is basically meant for maintaining the system. Either it is a mobile or it is a computer or it is a desktop or it is a laptop. So everything, every hardware, every system requires a utility or system software for maintaining the systems, right? So in today's session, what we have learned about, there are two types of softwares. First is application software, the second is system software. If we talk about application software, they are basically meant for specific purpose and they are going to help out the users in solving their problems, right? Whereas when we talk about system softwares, the system software is an operating system. It could be utility softwares. Just now I have discussed about utility softwares, like troubleshooting programs are there, antivirus programs are there, backup programs are there, even file compression programs are also there. So what is file compression? Like if I want my PPT to be converted into JPEG, right? So I'm going to use some system software, I'm going to use some program that is going to convert it. But if we are using it as a package, right, like I'm converting it as a MS Office, so they are treated as application software. Whereas whenever it converts at the back end, I'm not going to, my intervention or user intervention is not allowed there, right? Because it is meant for system only. It is maintaining the system only. You need not have to do anything in that case, right? So they are utility softwares. Okay, so in the later slides, in the later chapters, we will be learning about operating systems, what are registers, how the memory is stored in the, like what is, how we maintain the storage areas, like what are the different classes we have in the memory, storage classes we have in the memory for maintaining the basically memory. So there are different things, there are different concepts behind that. So we will be learning about that. So from today's lecture, you can easily identify the packages, the application softwares. Like I am using, your MS Office is not a system software. It is what? It is a application software. Why? Because you are working with that particular application. If I'm going to ask you, PDF is an Adobe Reader, or you may have Adobe Spark softwares or MS Teams. All these applications are application based softwares. Whereas when an update to scan your computer, or checking the virus in the computer, or giving you pop-ups to have the update version of the operating system, or update version of any application software as well. So for maintaining that software, we require some utility programs, and that are treated as what? That are treated as system softwares, right? So there is not a big huge difference between them, but both are different only. They both are not same, because their purpose, their scope are different. The purpose of application softwares is meant for serving the users, satisfying the users, helping the users. Whereas for the system softwares, they are helping the system itself. They are solving the problems of the system itself. No user intervention is allowed, right? No user intervention is allowed. So, this is the end of this session, and we will be coming in, we will be coming with more lectures and on more topics, right? That is of fundamentals of computer application. Thank you.